Welcome to this video on solving algebraic inequality word problems. Let's begin. Here is a chart of different words or phrases that are associated with different inequality signs. You can also look this up on the web or find it in your textbook. Let's begin. The directions ask us to first write an inequality to represent the word problem, then solve the word problem. So let's begin. First it says 6, so we will write 6. Then it says decreased by. Decreased by means to subtract. 6 decreased by twice a number. We write twice a number as 2 times any variable. I'm going to choose x. Then it says is greater than. Is greater than means we use the greater than sign. Then it says 14, so we write 14. So our final inequality is 6 minus 2x is greater than 14. Let's go ahead and solve this inequality. First, I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides of the inequality. This gives us negative 2x is greater than 8. I am then going to divide both sides by negative 2, remembering that dividing by a negative number triggers one of our rules, and therefore we must invert or reverse the inequality symbol. So our final answer is x is less than negative 4. Let's do another example. This one says the product of. The product of means to multiply. Well, what are we multiplying? We're multiplying 3 and a number. So we have 3 times x, or you can write it more simply as simply 3x. Then it says is no more than. So that means that it is less than or equal to. The sum of, so sum means to add, but what are we adding? We're adding 9 and 4 times a number. So our final inequality is 3x is less than 9 plus 4x. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides. That gives me negative 1x is less than or equal to 9. Then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 1, noting that when I do that, I have to reverse my inequality sign. So my final answer is x is greater than negative 9. Let's do another example. This one is an application word problem. It says a reception hall does not charge a rental fee if at least $3,500 is spent on food. So how can I write at least $3,500? Well, think about the phrase at least. If I have to be at least 21 years old to legally drink alcohol, that means I have to be 21 or older. So at least $3,500 means I have to spend $3,500 or more. That means greater than or equal to $3,500. But what are they spending on? Where is the cost coming from? Well, it tells us that for the wedding reception at the hall, a couple plans to serve a dinner that costs $28 a person. So what does that mean? Well, let's say x is the number of people. So we know that if they have one person, right, then that would cost $28. If they have two people, that would cost 2 times $28 or $56. So the equation here would be that this thing over here, the pattern is that we are taking this number and multiplying it by 28. Okay, so we have 28x has to be greater than or equal to $3,500. So now we can see how many people have to be invited to the reception in order to waive the rental fee. So what we're going to do is we're just going to divide both sides by 28. And we find that x is greater than or equal to 125. So in other words, if they have 125 or more people come to the reception, then they will not have to pay that rental fee. Let's do another application problem. This says a delivery man has to deliver a truckload of boxes to the top floor of a business. Each box weighs 80 pounds. And the dolly the man will use to transport the boxes weighs 20 pounds. The delivery man himself weighs 180 pounds. If the elevator in the building can hold at most 1,500 pounds, how many boxes can be delivered at a time? So let's figure this out. So first of all, we have the boxes, right? So the variable is the number of boxes. So we know that we have 80 pounds per box, and x is the number of boxes, right? That makes sense because, for example, if we have one box, right, then it's going to be 80 pounds. If we have two boxes, that means it's going to be 160 pounds, and so on. Okay, so that's where we got 80x. So we have the weight of the boxes plus the weight of the dolly. That's the device with wheels that they use to carry the boxes, right? And we know that weighs 20 pounds. We're going to assume that he's only using the one dolly. He can probably only push one at a time, right? And then we know that the man himself weighs 180 pounds, okay? So what is our limit? Our limit is 1,500 pounds. Does it have to be greater than or equal to or less than or equal to 1,500 pounds? Well, it has to be less than or equal to, right? We know this because, one, it says at most, and two, if you just think about an elevator, right, a weight limit means that you can't exceed 1,500 pounds. It doesn't mean that you have to have at least 1,500 pounds to get in the elevator. That doesn't make sense. All right, so this is our answer, right? So you could leave it like that, but we are then asked to solve it. So let's go ahead and solve this. So we have 80x plus 200 is less than or equal to 1,500. So I am going to subtract 200 from both sides of my equation. That gives me 80x is less than or equal to 1,300. And then I have to go ahead and divide by 80 to find out how many boxes this person could potentially put in the elevator at once. So when we divide, we find that x is less than or equal to 16.25. Now I think we can all agree that you can't have a quarter of a box, right? He's only lifting or putting in there a whole number of boxes. So to answer this question, it says how many boxes can be delivered at a time. We're not going to write 16.25. We're going to say 16 boxes. Okay? And again, we're doing that because we have to have a whole number of boxes. Saying 16.25 boxes doesn't make sense in the context of the problem. So if he has more than 16 boxes, then he's going to exceed that 1,500 pound weight limit. Okay, so he could have 16 or he could have fewer than 16, right? He could have 15, 14, 13, right? But the greatest number of boxes that can be on that elevator at once with the dolly and the man is 16 boxes. So it's true that there are many different kinds of word problems. I've shown you a few. If you have other word problems that you need help with, please reach out to your instructor and get help from him or her. Thanks.